Welcome, everybody. This is DERELL with the new Black Menosphere. Thank each and every one of you for being here. This is my third video today. I will be focusing on around the Manosphere space in Black YouTube in general. And I'm just going to give a roundabout summary of things that I have heard and experienced as of the last couple of days. Welcome. This is DERELL with the Menosphere, the Black Menosphere. This is the first live stream focused on topics that affect the Black community, that basically you're getting a real grown up, intelligent stance about relationships, dating, family, and so on for the Black community. Today, I'm going to give a little bit of history on what led me to this day to have this conversation with you all. And first and foremost, I want to appreciate each and every one of you who have come in today who want to support the Black Menosphere, not the Black Manosphere, M-A-N. No. It's M-E-N-O Sphere, the Black Menosphere. This is a sector in which Black men and women can come and have an effective, interactive, seamless conversation about everything that's going on in our community, particularly as it relates to dating, relationships, the roles of a man, a role of a female, particularly as it relates to stepfatherhood or fatherhood in particular, as it relates to the overall development of Black boys in the community. We're going to talk about issues of marriage and we're going to talk about results of divorce thereafter. We are going to talk about issues of sex. We're going to talk about issues of your worth in the dating market. We're going to talk about the culture of dating in the Black community. We're going to focus on divestment. We're going to focus on those that want interracial relationships. Just because you interracially date doesn't mean that you divest. I want you out. Let me repeat that again for those that don't understand. And I'm Pan-African, and I'm not even one that is for interracial dating. But interracial dating does not mean you divest. Interracial dating. But when you come into these spaces of YouTube, what's up, just another nigger? Interracial dating does not mean you are divesting. And just because you divest doesn't mean you have a right to talk about the community that you no longer want to be in. Because in the Black Menosphere, we allow people to have those discussions. Okay? We allow those that claim they diverse to please help me understand the logical purpose behind you relating your frustrations around men or women that you no longer want to date. Please help me understand, how is that yielding productive conversation? I don't want to hear people talking about what we don't have a community. People been saying we don't have a fucking community for the longest, but everybody knows where a goddamn Black community lives. Now, please help me understand, for those that say we don't have a community, but every last one of you Negroes lived in a Black community. Everybody that's not in a Black community know where the Black communities lie. But we don't have a community. A community is not just relegated behind you controlling the functions of that community, but it also is relegated to those that live in that community, and you behave and you socialize and you interact, whether it's functional or dysfunctional. Who said that all cultures are functional? All cultures are not as equally functional. Some are more functional than others. And there's outside variables that contribute to the functionality of that community. The Black community has been stricken with outside sources that want the Black community to remain in the current state that it is. Because those communities that invest in our dysfunction are benefiting from a monetary point of view. They're benefiting economically. They understand if Black people continue to stay the way they are, I'm going to always have a store on the corner that people are going to buy liquor and all kind of goods they don't need. I understand people are going to always want to buy clothes they can't afford. I'm going to understand that men and women in the Black community are going to continue to buy things to make themselves feel good. Now, with that being said, and I appreciate everybody for coming in. I have 11 in the chat. Let's please get the likes up. Let's get these likes up. Again, this is DERELL, and I welcome everybody to the new Black Menosphere. Okay? Now, as I continue, I want you to understand why I created this Menosphere, because this is what a Black family is supposed to look like. You see this? This is what I am striving for. This is what I'm striving for. This is what I want. I want where you see a man Black man, black woman, black sons, children, family, cooperativeness, collectivism. These are all values of the Black Menosphere. Togetherness, understanding, compromise, negotiation, problem solving, teamwork. The Black Manosphere is not about you injecting your manhood to force people to do things that they may not feel comfortable with doing. A talking point of the Black Manosphere is that Black women have a voice and always did have a voice in our community, and their voice is of value. It is not always about you injecting your leadership, your masculinity. It's about understanding how you operate under the disguise of being a man. Okay? We must understand this. In this space, we value the opinions of Black women. In the Black Manosphere, we don't have to say we're leaders. We already know we're leaders. You see, I've been married for over 17 years, made 17 years, December 17th of 2021. How many Negroes in the Manosphere can say the same? What's up, Nick Ray? I appreciate you for coming in, my brother. I appreciate you for coming in. I saw you over there by my brother, Reg the Bad Guy. The Black Manosphere is an environment that fosters the development of Black families. You see, this picture here defines what I want. It defines what I want. It defines what I want, because we're going to focus on what works to create success, not focus on everything that encompasses failure. Because see, the Black Manosphere focuses on you as a Black man looking in a heightened skeptical manner at all times at Black women that is unwarranted. Let's talk about the results of red pill ideology. How is it that a space full of men who are either childless, sexless, relationship-wise not there, trouble having relationships since you were a 15, 16-year-old kid? What's up, Raining Woman? Appreciate my ladies for coming in. Appreciate you for coming in, Raining Woman. How is it that this space, has men who have found themselves to be on the short end of the stick? All of a sudden, you have all the answers for women that you've never dated. Yes. And then when when the men who have success talk, you try to act like you have the answers. You have no answers because you have no track record. You got Negroes right now, ain't never been married, don't have children, never kept a woman past 6 months, that's going to tell you all of what's wrong with a Black woman. But where is the mirror? I'm about reflective reality. Reflect on the fact that you are a loser. Many of you have been losers. Many of you just don't look good at all, pleasing to women. Many of you don't have the economics. Many of you don't have the skills. Many of you just don't have the social vernacular to function and have a success with the women that you want. What's up, Casey F? It's okay if you've been divorced. I am open to hearing from women or men who have shown a long track record of being with somebody, regardless of whether or not you've been divorced or not. If you have been married to somebody for over 8 years, I'm willing to listen to what you have to say. Or if the total amount that you've been dating plus marriage equals over 10 years, I'm willing to listen to what you have to say. Don't mean that I'm going to agree with you saying, but I'm willing to listen to you. If you've had a past of domestic violence, I'm not willing to listen to anything you have to say. If you have sexual assault, physical assault in your background, I am not willing to listen to a goddamn thing that you have to say. If you've been never married but trying to tell me what is a good woman for what makes a good wife, I am not willing to listen to a goddamn thing you have to say. And for the ladies, just want to let you know, if you sit here and tell me you've been proposed to 10 times and you turned down 10 men, and then you turn to telling me I can't find a good black man, you mean to tell me 10 men found you worthy to be a wife, but then you found in your infinite wisdom that none of those 10 men were at the level that you felt they should be to marry you? Then I'm gonna basically speak to you in the same manner as I'm gonna speak to the guys in the space. What's up, Real One? What's up, Buckaboo? What's up, Real One? Granny Woman says, I appreciate you working to make a real difference. Thank you. Yes, this is a different perspective. This may not be the most popular. Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to each and every one of you. I may not get over 30, 40 people watching, starting off. But what I am going to do, I guarantee you, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this. I guarantee you, within a month or two, there will be people saying DERELL said this and DERELL said that. And you know why? Because that has already happened with me in the Manosphere, where I've said things and people repeated those things in other spaces. DERELL, the Black Menosphere, is not focused on a white ideology that is basically self-defeating. What the Black Manosphere doesn't understand, if you have red pill ideology, red pill traits, and if you look at women in a compromising manner, in a negative manner, that perspective is always going to lead to you having unproductive interaction with females, whether you want to or not. But if you continue to look at the opposite sex in a certain manner, that will spill over into how you treat people, whether you're conscious of it or unconscious. And therefore, it will lead to unwanted interactions. This is the Black Menosphere, where I'm about people not sitting here giving me an echo chamber about how you're the most educated. Yes, you're the most, but you only worth $5. Okay, but nobody wants to talk about why that's the case. Also, in the Black Menosphere, if you are going to quote research, you Negroes, if you're going to quote research on my panel, you better come with the full analysis, because I'm going to ask you questions that is worthy of what makes effective research or not. If you can't give me the data collection, if you can't give me the style in which that data was computed, if you can't tell me what the abstract, the introduction was, if you can't tell me the limitations, you can't tell me what's in the discussion and in the results in full scale, we don't have a conversation. We're not having a conversation. If you can't give me the standard error of estimate or measurement, we're not having a conversation. Because if you want to discuss statistics, let's discuss statistics the way statistics are supposed to be discussed. Not about you picking out a number that fits your rhetoric, and then you're saying this explains why black women are like this. No, it does not. What it explains is what the content was created to measure. Research is created not to give an absolute understanding of any outcome of why something occurs, but it only gives a descriptive explanation of the probability of why certain things happen and the variables that influence why certain things happen. Just because you look at research that says 80% of black women file for divorce 80% of the time doesn't give the full scale of why those things happen, what contributed to it, and please let me know of the error that is involved in it. When you read me research about the Manningham report, but then you don't talk about the inability of the person of Mr. Manningham, who was not objective in the process of that research in itself. If you can't tell me the factors that contributed to that data collection outcome, please let me know. If you cannot tell me the discussion, the results, the limitations, which do exist, don't sit here and quote 60-year-old research just because it predicted certain things based on what happened in the 1960s without even knowing the fact that we were going to have a crack era, without knowing that we were going to have an a criminal and black male incarceration crisis, housing market crashes, racism. You see, the Manningham report does not describe these things that contribute to the dysfunction of black people. It only talks about the things that are within the confines of the black community. It doesn't talk about the outside influencers of what contributes to the dysfunction of black people. See, it only talks about black women making certain decisions and black men making certain decisions, but it's not talking about the community at power that influences how black people function. So unless you're going to have a intellectual conversation, a true intellectual conversation, and please don't tell me when I say something that you don't agree with, well, DERELL, well, your research that shows Negro. I matriculated from 2 social science programs and psychology. My training told me that. If you want to go back and research yourself, organizations and so forth, I'm not quoting you research because intellectuals, people in my field professionally, don't go around quoting research by title when they're discussing things. We look at things that happen across the board within our field. We may quote certain books, certain authors, certain theories, but we don't go around saying this 1994 article on black men leaving black women up 15%, what caused it? and all this other different stuff. We don't go around doing that because a lot of research says the same thing, just in a different manner. I'm going to repeat, a lot of research says the same thing, just in a different manner. And that's facts. That is a fact. That's research is only created to give a descriptive understanding of why things happen, how often they happen, the efficacy of certain things, and those results. Our research has limitations. Our research has error, but nobody wants to talk about that. But if the research states that a Black woman did something at an alarming rate or percentage, you miss out on everything else that contributed to that finding. And you're just focusing on the research said. You see, I cannot have intellectual conversations with people that are not trained in understanding how research works. Research is meant to predict why things happen. It is not an absolute on creating a law of just because certain things happen in a certain way, you're going to get the same outcome 100% of the time. That's not what research is. At the Black Menosphere, we understand this. And I want to say hello to each and every one of you, the 18 people that are here watching me from the clouds and are watching me in the chat. Please get the likes up. Please subscribe. Please share if you're listening to me for the first time. Please do. Please do. I will be opening up the chat in a little bit so that people can come in and have a discussion with me as I talk about more talking points about the Black community in the Black Menosphere. Let me talk about some more talking points. Number one, Black masculinity cannot be defined by an ideology. Red pill ideology does not define Black manhood. Black manhood is defined by Black men as a culture, and then also how Black men individually decide to carry themselves. Black manhood is not even defined by Black women, just like Black womanhood is not defined by men. However, Black women do have the right to question the manhood of dysfunctional Black men and ask for answers from functional Black men. DERELL is here to give those answers to Black women who have questions about functional or dysfunctional Black men. And I want to say to each and every one of you that want to join the Black Menosphere for as men, I expect you also to give intelligent answers to why certain things happen from your perspective. Doesn't mean that you're always going to be right, but it means that you're giving a response that is worth paying attention to. Another talking point that I'm going to focus on is that you cannot say you're for the Black family, but you want to pump and dump. You cannot say I'm for the Black community, for the Black family, but you're also not wanting to get married. That makes no sense and is hypocritical. You cannot say stepfathers are simps because stepfathers are family orientated. The Black Menosphere is against any anti-family rhetoric, particularly as it relates to Black men taking it upon themselves to emotionally, financially, socially value family, and by all means do everything within their own resources to maintain the family nucleus. The Black Manosphere also feels that there has been a apathetic view of black boys because these black boys didn't become the way they were once they became men overnight. That happened gradually over time through their social conditioning and psychological conditioning growing up in American culture. You see, a thug is not groomed overnight. A thug is groomed over time. A thug continues to be a thug because he has positive reinforcements that people reinforce him for, and that's why he continues to do so. Why does he have to change? When there are people who are okay with him dressing the way he dressed, talking the way he talked, and doing the negative things to his community that he's doing. There are women who won't date anything but a dysfunctional man and then get mad that the man is dysfunctional. Why is it the Black Manosphere does the same? The IG models, the OnlyFans, you Negroes are sitting there financially supporting these women. You're the ones cash apping. You're the ones sending money, the super chats. You're the one going there giving these people money from the OnlyFans, and also TikTok and everything else. You're the ones bankrolling these women you claim you don't want. You're the ones going on Instagram. Look at Melanie Speaks. Melanie Speaks is in the Manosphere. Melanie Speaks is an Instagram, whatever you want to call it. These Negroes simp for Melanie Speaks. I've seen Melanie Speaks Instagram and others, and they simp for her. And she's not the only one. They simp for all types of women that make horrible wives, horrible girlfriends, horrible lovers. But because you are unable to look past physicality in vetting women, you overlook those things until they display that very behavior to you, which leads you to believe that they're not fit to be with you. And then therefore you get mad and angry and come on YouTube expressing your discomfort. The black menosphere is about solving problems in the vetting process. I've had Negroes that told me that the first thing they ask a black woman when they see them is your hair real? There could be other things that you would want to know that should be more important than is your hair real? How about how do you treat a man? What do you think is the natural progression of a relationship? Are you supportive? Are you affectionate? Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to work and build something? But they got Negroes in this space who want to know, are you going to be submissive to me? Are you going to take my leadership? What is your leadership? You have no leadership, black man, in the manosphere. I'm going to give you examples of why you don't have leadership. Case in point, look what happened in Atlanta. What happened in Atlanta exemplified why the black manosphere doesn't have real leadership. Because the three guys that were supposed to be the juggernauts of this sector, only one showed up because he got paid. And the other two didn't really give a damn. Let's just be honest. They didn't. And I know for a fact one didn't. I ain't saying he didn't care, but he don't even really fool with some of these people that were there. He really doesn't. And this is facts. The people who claim the juggernauts were not there. The black manosphere hierarchy, the top of the hierarchy, were not there. Matter of fact, Angry Man, I don't think Angry Man even mentioned anything about the manosphere meetup. O'Shea Duke Jackson didn't either. Obsidian was there only because he was paid. If Obsidian was not paid, he wouldn't have went. And shout out to Obsidian and shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. And those are just the facts. These are the facts. But what we did have, one of the reasons that propelled me to even do this content is that was a brother by the name of Lil Nate who thought he could out debate me on topics he know nothing about. The Negro don't know how to do research. This Negro would sit on 2015 and 12 statistics that are 8 years fucking old. And I'm sitting here telling this brother, you're not professionally trained. We don't look at research like that. To quote current events 8 years ago, you have to go by the most recent research, nothing more than 2 years for the most part. Okay. Or the most recent updated research. Blackdemographics.com is not it. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's convenient for you to look at blackdemographics.com, but when the last time blackdemographics.com updated their content? I think it's been over 5 years. It's been several years. I'm sitting here laughing at you all, you so-called YouTube intellectuals that don't understand that a lot of the topics that you talk about, I deal with on a day-to-day basis as a licensed therapist. And I'm trying not to even talk about that. I'm trying to just be me, DERELL, just a man itself. But it is very difficult for me to uphold talking points that are irrational and damaging to the psyche of black men, particularly the young black men that don't know the difference. And they're looking for someone to show them an avenue to succeed. They can't do that. How can a person of no success show you how to be successful? How can a person of failure show you how to be successful? Dating black women is not like solving a goddamn puzzle. Dating black women or interacting with black women is not like you're cracking the code to the goddamn Egyptian hieroglyphs. Dating black women, your success with black women will be relative to you presenting yourself in a manner that piques their interest. Let me repeat that again. Your success with black women is only relative to you packaging yourself and presenting yourself in a manner that they value. If she doesn't value, she's not going to date you. There's so much foolishness that goes on in the culture of black dating. That's the reason why we're not getting married. And don't sit here and tell me who's the problem. In the black manosphere, my talking point is we're both the problem. The reason why our dating percentages are so low is because black men and black women, we grow up in cultures that does not value relationships to get married long term. I can understand. I'm gonna tell you, just me professionally speaking, I can spot selfish, entitled people a mile away. Whenever you hear a man or a woman telling you, I am dating somebody because I want to receive a laundry list of things from them, and I expect these things, that's letting me know that you have very little to give. Because when you date someone to get certain things from them, but you're not willing to give them or provide anything for them, that lets me know you're not worth a damn. And that goes for women and men. Okay? Just Another Naker said, the question is then becomes, where does one find a woman that values a certain man? And so my question to you, a woman that values a certain man is everywhere in society. It's up for you to identify that and put yourself in positions to meet women. And you can, as a man, decipher who values a certain type of man or not. And let me get this straight. The overvaluing of the first impression, the overvaluing of the first initial date is something that we need to change in the way we interact with one another for dating. Yes, I understand as a culture, we want to put forth our best effort and show a person the best of us. But some things you're not going to really know a person until you see them and talk to them for a certain period of time. I want you all to understand this. There are a lot of men who don't have the gift of gab, who don't have the swag, but they have everything on the list that makes a good man. But because those men don't have these things that black women feel is going to attract them and give them that feeling, you're overlooking men that have everything you want and need, and you don't even give them a chance to get to know them, to know what they have. Just because a guy is stuttering or he may feel a certain way or not say all the right things, but if you got to know him over time, you'll know him to be the one, but you don't give him a chance. Those type of men, you flat out say no to and keep it going. And to these black men, if you're not getting success, if you're unable to gain success, if you are unable to gain success from the way you're approaching women, that means that you need to change the way you are approaching women. But in the black manosphere, we tell women that you are the problem all the goddamn time, no matter what I am doing. Even if I look like Little Big Nate, even if, fuck the fact that I look like Little Big Nate, a black woman just supposed to think you look good looking like Little Big Nate. It's Negroes like Little Big Nate who look the way he look and talk the way he talk and act the way he acts. Expect black women to get up for that shit. I'm sorry, brother. And dress the way you dress. Black women are supposed to be excited looking at you. Let's see this. I'm no joke. He states, good evening. How do you feel about Red Supreme TV? In his videos, he makes some good points he makes, but his followers despise black women. But Red Supreme stated that he doesn't have a hatred for them. I agree. Now, Red Supreme does not hate black women. Now, Red Supreme he goes into some shit, certain things that I don't agree that he says in regards to black women acting a certain way. And Red Supreme generalizes black women a lot. The fuckery of black women. And I get that. That's his platform. That's what he does. That's okay. I don't really have a huge problem with with Red Supreme because I don't see Red Supreme as being extreme. Now, there are some things when he generalizes black women a lot. I don't agree with that. When he kind of talks about what they're doing, and then when he was on Minister Jap, he was saying all kind of stuff. I'm like, come on, brother. No, that's not true. Stop it, Red. Stop. But I can have a discussion with Red Supreme, but some of that stuff he talk about, I don't agree with. Yeah. And I'm no joke says, don't let Red Supreme hear you say what? What do you mean? Don't let him hear me say what? What would I say that he wouldn't like? I mean, I care less. I mean, I don't even, me and him we don't fuck with each other, so it don't make me no difference. But what would he not like? I'm not expected to say things that people are going to like. This is not about me creating something where, oh, DERELL, you got to be right about everything. DERELL, you can't say this about that. All I'm asking for are some receipts. What's up, LV? What's up, brother? Appreciate you for coming in. Appreciate you for coming in. Let me get this troll out of here. See, we got some trolls coming in here. Get them out of here. Okay. You see, it is interesting to say, because there are going to be content creators that are going to listen to me and say, DERELL is a simp. Negro. There's 99% of the Negroes right now would trade their life to have my life. Negro, you can't afford to be a simp. Simps got money. And you call anybody a simp that is doing something to treat a black woman with respect and doing something just to treat someone nice. And that's the problem with red pill ideology, because it stifles your social growth as it relates to interacting with women, because you don't think they deserve shit just because you a man. They're supposed to automatically give you everything and you give nothing back in return. He said, I'm a proud simp. I'm going to say this. See, simping, number one, is none of anybody's business. And that's the problem with the manosphere. You constantly want to talk about what another man is doing and another man and his success with getting women. You claim that these women are doing this and doing that. But when men just do simple shit like just give a lady a flower, take her out on a nice date and spend over $50 to $100, that's simping to you. You Negroes think you can give the least but get the most. You see, that's the problem with you brothers. The dating market does not work like that. First of all, you should understand what type of lady that you're dating, because there are some women that expect more in certain things than others. They have different expectations, different wants and needs. There are some women that you take them out on an expensive date, they don't even value that. They'll value you going to church with them over taking them out on a nice date. There's some women that want all kinds of shit and they have a sense of entitlement. They lead with their looks. They have nothing else in their brain. And you Negroes fall for that. And then when she basically takes what you have and leave and go on to the next person, now you're looking crazy, and then you're mad at the black females. And you're mad at other black women that you don't know that you blame are the problem. No, Negro, you are the problem. I agree with the stance on Red Supreme. He feels men are the prize, not the women. I feel that why can't we both be the prize? Why can't a woman be the prize and why can't the man be the prize? And even if you feel that you are the surprise, nobody has to unwrap your silly ass if you think you're the prize. You can be the prize by yourself. You can be the prize by yourself. You can tell a woman she's the prize all you want. But if she's not willing to entertain that, then you're sitting by yourself as the prize. Okay, you're the prize that nobody wants. You see, this is the mentality. Yes, I feel like I'm the prize too. But just because I'm the prize, that means I can't see another lady as being the prize. You see, this is simple, illogical thinking. See, a mindset like that, which is okay. He has high self-worth, feel the way he feel about himself. But just because you feel that you're the prize, don't mean a woman got to jump over hoops to be with you. And if a woman tells me she's the prize, that's great. But that doesn't mean I'm going to jump over hoops just to be with a woman. Why can't we value each other as being a prize? So when you say we men are the prize, that means that women have to prove themselves. Who is any person to think that a person has to prove themselves to you? I would tell that to any woman. Why should I have to prove something to you? Why should you have to prove something to me? Why can't we just grow and enjoy each other organically? Why does it have to be something about me having to go through circles and hoops and pass a test, a social dating test? For now, once you pass that test, that allows me now to want to deal with you in the first place. First of all, that guarantees nothing. That doesn't guarantee marriage. It doesn't guarantee sex. It doesn't guarantee the longevity of, of a relationship. It does not guarantee anything but the fact that you just think you're the prize. That's it. I'm no joke. If you want to feel like men are the prize, not women, you're more than happy to do so. But my history shows me that in a dating situation, men are more likely to go out their way to do things for women than women are out there to do things for men. That's what history says. It does sound very feminine, but my thing is, no man says this. I'm the prize. You know, you can be a prize by yourself. No one unwrapped it. No one will know. Nobody is jumping over hoops for you. If you think people are just supposed to do all kind of crazy, outlandish things out of the box just to date you, I'm sorry. Women have options. Average women have options. Average women get hit on all the time, particularly if they have a decent shape. I'm sorry. It's not about who's the prize. It's about who is most compatible. You see, we're talking about all this thing about one is over the other. See, all of this competition, this dating Olympic competition. Your efforts in finding the woman or man that you want is relative to your compatibility with that person. See, we don't talk about compatibility. We don't talk about relatability. We don't talk about the cohesiveness between two people and the dynamics of relationships. We want to focus on one is here, the other one is here. You're supposed to do this, and we're confining things and limiting things to gender roles that you're supposed to display in a functional relationship, instead of focusing on all the other emotional ties and the gradual interaction that makes for a long-term enjoyable relationship. Reigning Woman says no one really keeps the door prizes. He says a man doesn't need a woman to prove it herself. If you know women, you should know from the start. I agree with that. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as for men, you should be focusing on self-development so that when you meet someone, they should already know what they're dealing with. If people got to guess, then that's already a problem. I feel what he's saying. Yes, some simplistic thinking, very much. Reigning Woman said some prizes are given at parting gifts. They're usually shelved, re-gift, discarded. So people should really stop repeating rhetoric because they lack original thought processes. Exactly. I'm the prize. You should be looking at me. You should bend over backwards for me. You should do this and do that. You need to prove to me you to be the woman in my life. Please. Negro, you prove things to each other once you have made a commitment to one another. And in that commitment, if it involves the development of being married or whatever type of relationship you want, then you're gonna start saying what we prove to each other over time. But no man or woman has to prove a goddamn. We're human beings. Who are you to think that I have to prove anything to you unless I have had a track record of being with you? But see what these Negroes do? These Negroes have gotten bit by trying to prove themselves to certain women, spending money, taking them on dates, buying clothes, materialism. They got caught. They were caught up in materialism without any emotionalism without any affection, without any communication, without any connectiveness, no reciprocity. And when it doesn't work, now you're mad and the black woman is evil. This has been the war cry of the black manosphere for the longest. The manosphere has cried. They have done everything they did to tell the world why this black woman is so bad. But the same Instagram model that got 3 kids for 3 different women, the minute she wink at him and open her legs, these Negroes are diving in first face when she opened her legs. Let's give an example of Mr. Kevin Samuels. What about that interview with Brittany Renner, whatever the hell her name is, and so forth? This lady has known to get pregnant to men to get child support, became homeless. But you turn around fraternizing her, buying and going shopping, rewarding her for her negative behavior, her unwanted, unmotherly behavior. But you sitting there interviewing a woman like she is an example of she questioning this about what women should do. That woman has no business being interviewed for anybody, giving her the attention that she does not deserve. I get it. It's Kevin Samuel. He's a YouTube phenom. 5-figure views, even gets in the 20s. I get it. But you've been sitting here talking about the type of black women that need to be, but you don't even interview those type of women. When are you going to ever interview the type of women you claim black women are supposed to be? Okay? That's facts. When are we going to interview the women that you claim you want to date, that men should be dating? I'm waiting to see that. These so-called women that are supposed to be feminine, fit, and fun, who are supposed to give up their careers that they work so hard for just to stay home and take care of children, that ain't even that's well, whether they're school age or not. You're supposed to drop and relegate your life to pleasing your man. And I guess black women are not smart enough to chew gum and walk at the same time. Because why is it so that you can't still work and provide and be of an economic value to your family just to stay home? And there's nothing wrong with that. And that is validity with the psychosocial development of children who are in their developmental years. The value of women staying at home to take care of their children. But once those children are of age, you don't need to be a stay-at-home. There's nothing wrong with getting back into the workplace when your children are well adjusted in school. Let's see, just another Naker. I feel you on a limb. But see, this is the problem with that, just another Naker. Notice what you talked about: sex appeal, style, and personality. Well, first, you don't really know her personality. You're just looking at what you're seeing on TV, and her personality is you don't know what that really is. The style and sex appeal, those things have nothing to do with a functional relationship. Sex and sex appeal and style have very little to do with the long-term functioning of a relationship. Now, it's good for the initial attraction. Yes, sexy, turn you on. I know it have you ready to go from a sexual standpoint. But what about the day-to-day? You know, is she willing to listen to you? Is she willing to um, support you? Is she willing to be there by your side as a helpmate? Is she a good communicator? Is she organized? Can she take care and just handle things just because you need her to handle it? And at the same time, is she going to be receptive to you? But optics are important at the beginning. And then through time, those optics become less and less important. It's more about how you function, not about how well you look. Red Pill Finance saying, if most men in the space were to be honest, they would prefer to have a black woman than to travel to find exactly black. I'm gonna say this: these Negroes are going to the Philippines, Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic. They going to these third world countries finding women. But these Negroes don't go to Africa. They don't even believe in dating interculturally. Why are you not going to South Africa? Why are you not going to Ghana? Why are you not going to Kenya? Why are you not going to Nigeria? These Negroes going, they skip the continent of Africa and they going way to Asia. They just skip the continent of Africa. They don't even want to date interculturally. I get it. You wasting your money. All those women see is American dollars and a green card. And after they do their time, they out. They gonna cook for you, clean for you, give you all the sex you want, smile when they really ain't happy, make you feel good, and then when they time up, they're like, I'm out. I don't want you anymore. I want to move on. And you know what's so bad? Since people want to talk about who's the simp, why are we not talking about these Negroes in the black in the traveling passport sector that simp on these women through prostitution and the sex trade and everything? Sex workers, and I'm not gonna say sex trade, but these Negroes that pay for it across seas just because it's more cheaper. Not only do they simp for these women, but they taking care of not only these women, but they're taking care of these women's family. What's up, Black Abe? How you doing, brother? What's going on? Appreciate you for coming in, Black Abe. So what you're hearing now are my talking points. These are DERELL's talking points that I will convey each and every time I do a live stream. I will be doing one or two live streams a week, preferably on the weekend, maybe one during the weekday, but I'm mainly going to be doing uploads on what I think about certain things. The uploads are going to be anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes long. I may do about 3 live streams, 3 uploads, or premieres or what have you. I may do 3 of those a week, and I'm going to do maybe 2 live streams during the weekend, unless I just feel like doing an extra live stream on whatever topics that are going on in the Manosphere, and as we create this space. And for those that are content creators that are watching that want to interact with DERELL on the things that I'm talking about, creating a distinction between the two, you are more than happy to do so. This is a family-orientated space. This is a space that's designed for people who have families, who are married, who don't want to hear the bullshit from the ministry. They don't. Some of these guys say some of the most outlandish, illogical, just stupidity at its best. And just because you get 100, 150, 200 in your live stream, you think you're doing something. You're not doing a damn thing, because everything you're talking about does not resonate in the real world. Ask Fresh and Fit what happened. Tell them where the red pill bullshit getting them right now. They're trying to become mainstream, and look what's happening to them as they try to apply that shit to people. And look what's happening to them. Look what's going on with Fresh and Fit. No, Black Abe, those women are not high. Those women are not even high value in their own countries. They're not. Now I'm going to go ahead and send the link out for those that want to come up. You're more than happy to come up. He said, what happened to Fresh and Fit? Well, Fresh and Fit got in trouble because they disrespected, what's her name? Cash Doll, or whatever her name is, rapper. They were disrespectful. They were disrespectful to other women, and it caught up with them. The lady looked back and said things back to them, and because they have a red pill ideology and mindset, they were treating women as such. And now their video went viral, and people are now criticizing them. West Bank, the 504 said, all due respect, DERELL, on a psychological aspect, the women in a lot of African countries are no different than the women in Colombia. And I do agree with that, West Bank. And I do agree with that. You are right about that. There are a lot of African women who are just like that. And so my thing is, the least you could do if you mean to tell me, and so you're making my point. It's not all about just you going to these other countries, because African women are some of the most feminine women in the world, some of the most easygoing, cooperative women in the world. And it's part of their culture. But you skip over them. So my thing, you're really, really, really not just looking at femininity and submissiveness, because you're going to these other countries when you can get it with African women, and you choose not to. No, they're not Indian. They're both those are both black people. They're both. I think one of them is African, but they're both black. They're both foreigners, I think. That's true. Why he won't date the women in his own community? That's a good question. Good question. They calling black women night riders and all this other shit. Just some of the most sophomore childish ass shit from Negroes that had a hard time getting women in their life. Now that you got a little YouTube thing going on, now, oh, I'm this and that. Now I have the right. I'm making money. I got notoriety. People spending money on me. Women hitting me up in the DM because they know who we are now. Fresh and Fit will not have longevity in this game. Again, guys, you can get the link if you want to come up. If you want to come up, you can get the link. But my thing is this. They just don't. Yeah, and O'Shea exposed them. And I don't really have problems. Just another nigga. Connect your device, brother. Connect your device. Please connect your device, then I can bring you up. Connect your mic. I'm sorry. Connect your mic. Just another nigga. Okay, he popped out. But this is the Black Manosphere. And let me get back to the reasons of me doing this. You know, I've been in this space since 15, 16, listening to it on and off. Really started listening to it around February, March of 16. And just another nigga. Make sure you unmute yourself. Just unmute. Make sure your mic is right, and then you can come up. The first person in the Black Manosphere that I listened to was Minister Jack. And from Minister Jack, I listened to O'Shea. Then from O'Shea, I listened to everybody else that was in the space at the time. I started seeing people like Jada Black, Black Ram, a fuck nigga named Hardcore Tito, and others. I started listening to an array of people. Then I started seeing stuff by BGS and other people and so on in 16. But I mainly listened to O'Shea, Minister Jack. Then I started listening to Obsidian. And I listened to a little bit of Angry Man here and there before he started doing stuff with BGS and so on. And other people that were in the space at the time. I would listen to these guys. I was 16. And I listened to some other female YouTubers, and I was listening to Cynthia G at the time when she was pro-black. 2017, I started listening to other people, more like Mr. Research, uh, other women. I started listening to a lot of other different women, also other people that came and gone from the space, and so on. I started listening to these people, and I started focusing on doing my own content in 2017. 2018, I started listening to 17 also. I was listening to just a lot of different people, just from different sectors, pro-black sector. I was mainly in the pro-black sector and in the manosphere. That's what my content reflected. Then around 2018, I started noticing these Negroes just start popping up saying some of the most crazy shit. So they got extreme. And then I started gaining notoriety around the late end of 2018. Then I started doing Umar content. Then I kind of went to a whole other direction and still was in the manosphere. Then I started seeing all these other Negroes with the SYSBM, the IPMOR. These Negroes grown to hate me and shit. And it was okay. I was okay with it. It was entertainment. But these Negroes took what they do online to heart. These Negroes were living vicariously through YouTube personas. They got mad at me for calling foreign women dirty feet bitches. Negroes was talking about me, niggas was mad at me. I started debating. People got pissed off. And I'm sitting here like, for what? This was in 19. Got back into space from 19, basically, when you look at 2020, with all the COVID stuff that was happening, that came about in 2020. I just started doing different things. You start seeing other people, new people popping up. The women start doing stuff. I remember when O'Shea brought women to the space. I remember Paris Milan getting a whole 3 hours arguing with Negroes. I remember Cynthia G cursing and calling Negroes names. I remember this other chick, the femininity coach, Irene something, whatever her name was. I think she's in Houston. She was teaching femininity courses. I remember this O'Shea homegirl from California. She stopped. They started. She got pissed off and left and decided not to come on the panels anymore. Not Irene Yvette. It's another. Oh, Michelle. Irene. Her name was Michelle Yvette. Or I'm Michelle something. Not Irene. I know Irene as her biracial uh, uh, dating ass. Interracial dating divestment. Though she claims she with a black man now, but she constantly talk about black men. Now she back with a black man after years of being with a white man that actually left her because he was no longer happy with her. But I've seen these people. I've seen the induction of Taz. Yeah, Nicole Michelle. I don't even know if she still does YouTube. There were all these people that came to the sector. What's up, brother? How you doing? Just another nigger.
Oh, I'm doing good, DERELL.
Oh, it's Psycho Candy. What's up, bro? Oh, so that was really you. I didn't know if that was you. What's
Yeah.
going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. Just chilling, tuning in to the show.
Okay, so tell me what you think about some of the things I'm saying in regards to talking points. Just kind of give me your feedback on where I'm taking this at the moment. I'm trying to create a little space that's a little different, can be an alternative,
Yeah, I mean it's a good idea because a lot, when it comes to people, but when it comes to women, it's not what you say, it's really how you say it. And a lot of these guys are saying stuff the wrong way. Um, you can say something, but if you, depending on the tone you say it in and how you say it, makes a difference.
right?
But
It does make a difference. But to people that think, see, the problem that that people don't understand is that these guys, they think that when it comes to women, they're supposed to excuse behaviors, such as how I present myself, just on the fact that I'm a man. You are supposed to put up with certain things that are dysfunctional, but because I'm a man, you're supposed to excuse those things. You see, there's an issue of masculinity with guys in the manosphere. And the reason why there's an issue of masculinity is because their real life does not reflect that of a productive, successful man. And if you hold that as being a big part of your masculinity, then you feel insecure because you haven't reached those levels yet. But you expect females, because you are a man, to treat you a certain way without you also doing the same in return.
right, um, I can say that I've never heard men like my father or yourself cry or whine about submission. You know,
Right?
y'all have just handled your business. At least that's what I see from online with yourself. I don't know you personally or in real life, but from what I can infer online,
Right?
you seem like you're a man that you handle your business. You're not out here whining and complaining about women and submission. Because that stuff comes like naturally. That stuff, it's just it happens. If you're doing what you need to do.
I'm going to say this. If you have to ask a woman to be submissive, that means that's not the woman for you. If you if you have to tell a woman that you are the leader, you're not a leader.
Right.
Those things should be understood. If you got your stuff together, if you're doing things, women automatically give men these things. I know listening to this space, that's like a foreign concept to some of these guys. But if you've shown yourself to be of a certain ilk, women naturally do these things. It's not that hard. It's really not. It's not. If you show that you're a decent guy, if you show that you have your things together, and I'm talking base, I'm not talking about you having the best of, but just you show some level of stability in which she feels that she can work with what you got to offer. Okay? If a woman finds value in you, she will submit herself to you to keep the relationship. Because see, women, let me say this. Women who understand masculine men are not trying to be more masculine. than the man. They're not, they don't try to be more masculine. Matter of fact, they understand that if I find value in you, other women find value in you too. So if I don't act accordingly, you're going to find another woman. Other women are going to see you the same way that I see you. But see, they don't understand that. They think that you just on the fact of me being a man, you're just supposed to automatically give me things. I'm entitled to certain treatment. And that's just not how it works in the dating scene. Matter of fact, when you're initially dating someone, your expectations should not be that high unless you all continue to see each other. You should have basic things, seeing if a person, you know, behavior, how they act, how they carry themselves. And as you see each other more and more, those expectations grow. And that's how people develop committed relationships. Committed relationships is a outcome of you trusting and continuously seeing someone so much that you don't want to risk losing them or sharing them with somebody else. You want this person all to yourself, and they want you all to their self. It's reciprocity. You see, we don't talk about that enough. In a functional relationship, it involves reciprocity amongst the two parties that are involved, not one doing all of these things to please the other and they're not feeling appreciation in return. But we
Right.
don't see this space. The Menosphere speaks of the dynamics of the relationship between two people. I'm going to talk about the communication. I'm going to talk about value system. I'm going to talk about how we handle families and kids and raising children and working collectively, parenting and things. You see, this is what a relationship in a real world looks like. Not the fact of you wanting to know, well, I'm the man and you need to follow my program and do what I say. Brother, you should if you have to say that, that means you have no program. If you have to say you need to follow, that means you're not worth following, or she doesn't think you're worth following. Whenever you have to say things that should be just by her observation, she should understand that these things are taking place. Just by mere observation, she should say, okay, I see that he takes charge of this, he handles this, he does this and he does that, he works, he has these things that he's accomplishing, he's working on other things. I can work with that. But when you have nothing, when you have accomplished nothing, achieved nothing, how are you expecting all these things? And you're upset when they don't give it to you. So when are you going to reflect on yourself and change? That's not black women's fault. That's your fault. But go ahead, brother. Any feedback?
Yeah, that is true. All of these guys whining about submission and getting with the program. Oftentimes my efforts have not been reciprocated, and this happens a lot often than it needs to.
Okay.
Um, so that's when I go and leave. I just stop, just go away, disappear. I'm
Right.
not here whining about um, black women or I mean, I do have to question and ask myself, like, why are women like this? I don't know. Maybe it's not my time. I guess people have things granted to them at certain
Now,
times.
let me ask you this. Remember, we had a talk. Did you take heed to some of the things I told you the last time we spoke about you in your dating situation?
Um, I mean,
Be honest.
I would say so. Quite
Okay.
frankly, I don't really remember much, but I'll
See,
think about
you got to remember, man. I'm we talked about. I talked to you This was probably 6, 7 months.
Six, yeah, months ago.
It was about maybe, no, maybe it was no, matter of fact, yeah, it was around July. It was
Yeah,
around because it was around the time we started having issues with these four-letter women that were going around doing things. And I talked to you about evaluating the type of women that are compatible to you and where they're at. And you posed a question that related to where do you find these women that value these things. And my answer to you is that those women who value those things, they're all over the place. You may not see it initially. You can't just look at a person and tell what they value and what they don't value. But what you can do is have conversations. You can interact with people and so forth, and meet people in productive environments. If you want a certain type of woman, you have to meet them in productive environments.
yeah, like school or the library or I guess work or somewhere. I met
Work.
this.
I'm talking organizational meetings and conferences, get-togethers, things that don't involve a lot of niggerish behavior. If you can't meet women in those environments, inspect certain things, college campuses, educational settings, things where some productive things are going on. That's
Right,
where those women are at.
right. Well, I met one, but she's giving me the runaround. But this chick is also kind of a bit indoctrinated, I should say,
Into what?
by some of the divestment propaganda. It's
So my question is to you: do you think it would be productive for you to interact with a woman that's entertaining divestment rhetoric?
no.
Exactly. So why are you wasting your time?
Good question. My father
See,
told me the
see,
same
see,
thing.
see, these are the things I keep to see. This is look, okay. Like matter of fact, I've had at least, and I can't say who they are, but I've had three guys in the last 6 months who are now in functional relationships, thanks to talking to me offline and on some things that I said online. I had one guy um, who sent me an email a month ago saying thank you for the advice on some things. I don't even remember. This happened like a year ago. He said that when he listened to me one time, I was saying some things about relationships. He took heed to him. He said within 2 weeks, this guy said he didn't have a date in about a year, and he had a hard time. He was also a foreigner. He said he had 3 dates in 1 month, and he ended up dating the chick, and then he ended up getting more dates and so forth the next following months, and he finally settled down with one chick, and they have a uh, committed relationship as we speak. And he sent me an email saying, "Thank you for the advice, man. You did me so well. I started getting more dates." And he actually admitted. He said, "Look," he said that he told me every woman that he dated was not the best looking woman. He admitted that. He said some look better than others, but initially he took whatever date he could get. And as he became more and more comfortable meeting women, regardless of the quality of how they look, the more comfortable he became talking and dating, the more and more confident he had in meeting women and getting, I guess, kind of seeing what actually he liked and making it and as far as seeing the different type of women and what he wanted. So it starts from somewhere. That's where it started from. See, my job is I'm looking at, you have to create options where you see what's out there, and then you decipher and you kind of delete. Okay, I don't need. I went out on 5 dates last month. Okay, two of these women are cool. The other three ain't really worth me spending my time and money dating. So let me X them out and go and continue to vet with these other women. And while you're doing that, if other women come along, I'm going to be open to them until I find the person that I want to be committed or have a situation with, and then I let everybody go. But in order for you to continually find a woman, you got to constantly date. You got to constantly meet other women. until you figure out I don't want to date these other women no more. I just want this one person. And what men got to understand, guys, you're going to be turned down. Women are going to tell you no. Women are going to say no. I don't want to date you, and you have to be as a man. Part of us is that, and this is something that the Manosphere have issues with. These Negroes don't know how to accept um, being turned down. They don't. They don't. They can't deal with rejection. And just because a woman told you no, don't mean she necessarily rejecting you. It may be because you're just not the type of person she want to be with. She finds that being with you is not what she wants. So you have to look at that. So let me go to Red Pill Finance. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on? What your name is? What
Psycho
dude?
Candy talking.
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. What's going on?
nothing much.
What's on your mind, Red Pill Finance?
You can keep going on. I'll chime in whenever I feel like I'll add some add my
Okay.
comments to it.
Yeah, man. And to me, like this channel now, because I really don't like talking about relationships a lot. Try to get away from, but now I'm kind of like in doing this channel, I have to talk about relationships because the focus is on relationships, dating, marriage, engagement, sexual market, the dating market itself, where you need to be as a man, where the women need to be. But see, we can have women come up, and I don't have to have arguments with women. You notice in the space when women come, you notice, guys, when women come on the panel, why does everything have to change? It's like the whole direction of the show changes. Dudes start arguing, getting mad, uh, yelling, cursing, arguing. It doesn't have to be that way, man. I don't argue with women like that. Like in real life, I don't have these issues with women. I've never, man. When I was a young, I was like, man. When I was y'all age, man, I ain't had these problems, man. I was on college campuses, 20, 21, 22 years, man. I didn't have these problems, and yes, I got turned down. There were women said I don't want to fuck with. There was some that were disrespectful, and some that wasn't. But you got to play the numbers game, man. As a man, you have to play. You can't put all your eggs in and you can't put all your eggs in the barrel for one person. You got to meet multiple people all the time until you decide this one person. I'm gonna focus on this one person. You
Yeah,
gotta.
you
Oh, go ahead,
yeah,
brother.
you right. I think I was watching Minister Jap the other day, and I think the dude you were talking about, his name is Nate, right?
His name is Nate.
Yeah, the dude who did the Manophere meetup.
Oh, you talking about little big neighbors on Minister Jap channel?
Yeah, he was on there with this lady, and they were talking about. I think they were talking about Kamala Harris and like the Democratic Party, and
Right.
just the way he was. I don't know. He got energy, but he was just like screaming at her, raising his voice, and I'm like,
Exactly.
damn, dog, like you ain't even gotta do all that. You having a constructive conversation. You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't you can't have a descriptive conversation. See, that's what I'm saying. These guys have this anger toward this. This dude was yelling with a woman he don't know on another man platform over Kamala Harris that don't know and care about either one of you. But you up here yelling and screaming at this woman because she have a different perspective than you. This the same Negro that called Channel 2 News in Houston to try to affect my business. That Negro. Yes,
Wow.
him.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. Like as far as like the anger you were talking about,
Yeah.
I don't know where that exactly rooted from. You know what I'm saying? That shit not
Man,
really
I'm gonna tell
healthy.
you where it's rooted from. You want to know where it's rooted from? Did you look
Where
at that nigga face? That's where it's rooted
just forever angry, man.
from. Nigga, if I look like that, I'll be angry too at the fucking world. I'll be mad at God. Nah, but jokes aside, little Big Nate is still mad that his wife left him and the children, he ended up getting custody of the children, but the children didn't want to live with him no more. That's what little Big Nate is mad about. And he hadn't had a relationship since.
Damn, that's a rare case that he actually got his kids.
Yeah,
Well,
he did get his kids, but they couldn't live with him.
I mean, he should be thankful that he even had the ability to make children and have a woman that has some interest in him in order to
Yes,
make children.
especially looking the way he looked. Damn, I'm sorry, man, but that nigga look like he got to pay for it. I'm sorry. It's just what I. It's just what. But I'm.
Bro, looks ain't got nothing to do with it, bro.
Shit, yes, looks do. Yes, it do.
Shit.
Looks have something to do with it.
Bro, if you're a normal masculine man, you should have no problem. These kids today, they are unhelpful. Like the 30 on the crowd, they can't be helped, bro.
Brother, you gonna sit here and tell me looks don't matter?
Nigga,
looks is important.
I'm a goofy, ugly dude, and I've had a bunch of girlfriends.
But did they think you look goofy and ugly?
Hell no, nigga. I'm not
okay,
gonna
so that don't apply to you. That don't apply to you. Have you seen Little Big Nate?
Nah, I ain't seen the band. But I'm just saying,
confidence
goes a long way.
I'm gonna tell you. I want you to search Little Big Nate on YouTube, and when you see a picture of him, then you let me know what you think. I'm gonna just let you know.
Man, I done seen goofy ugly dudes win, man. Confidence goes a long. Confidence is probably like 80%.
Accomplished? No, confidence.
I said confidence. Confidence is about 80%.
Bro, I hear you on that. You could be confident, and that's why I talk about the numbers game. But if you're gonna be confident, you still got to show something.
Man, if a woman like to, she'll lie to herself, bro. You ain't gotta really. You gotta go that far.
Well, I ought to take out an ad on the Times Square then. Maybe.
Nah, you don't have to do all that, man.
Yeah,
bro.
I think so.
I'm gonna be real with Psycho, but Psycho been doing this about 2 years, man. He's not gonna find nobody. But unless this nigga hit the lottery, he's not gonna find anybody.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying it.
Hold on, why you say that though?
Because he's been doing this for 2 years. Like he's been going on panels for almost a year and a half, 2 years. Like, dude, women gotta feel safe around you. That's the number one thing. And women don't feel safe around you. If you come out creepy, it don't matter what you do.
So you just feel like it ain't no hope?
No.
It's nothing he can do?
None. Unless he grows to 6'5", nothing. I mean, everything that women look for in a guy these days, he doesn't have. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have height. He doesn't have confidence. He's not funny. Like, what does he have?
Well, then tell us, what do you have, Marquise?
I'm sick. Well, I'm married, so.
I mean, that's what you say. But
is that your wife in your profile picture?
Yeah, that's my wife. It's Kelly.
Okay. And what?
I mean, I'm 6'5". I'm confident. I'm smart. I have money. Like you know I have condos in Miami. You've seen it. You've seen the trips and vacations I take. Like I bring things to the table. So I mean, the fact that I'm ugly, like that doesn't even matter anymore.
Hold on. So
the women think you
exactly. Hold on. So what game would you give him?
Get rich.
That's the only way he can
get rich. That's the only way. And my 37 years on this earth,
Marquise, come on,
bro. I'm being real, bro. I'm being dead ass.
I'm rich too, but the problem is this, brother. I got money too, but my thing is that I've seen a lot of Negroes and other race, particularly men of other races. You got to come with more than just money. Put you in the game, okay? Money put. I ain't trying to. I'm not saying you wrong for saying that. I'm gonna say this. When you talk about get rich, right? Are you there, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm still here, bro.
Okay, let's look at that. When you got your money, what did that money do for you?
I don't know. I was happy. I was married. Well, I was married when I was broke. So hey.
Wait a minute. So you got married broke, and you telling this man he got to get rich?
Exactly. What's going on?
But I had more. I had more than just money. You know what I'm saying? I had confidence as well. I had an education. I'm
But the,
hell, and I'm also
Okay.
6'5" height. For
Yeah.
some reason, women love tall guys. Like you could be being tall is like having big titties. Like women will fuck a tall dude no matter what.
I don't know about all that, but
I
I'm
think
telling you.
I will say it does put you. Women do prefer men that are tall, taller and so forth. But you got to come with other things along with that. But I'm gonna say this: you have education, right?
Yeah.
Now, didn't you think? Don't you think an intelligent woman is gonna recognize, even though you may not have the money now, but you got some things working. If you put those things in play, you're not gonna be in this at this level you at very long. So you had a lot of potential. Is that's what I'm hearing from you.
Okay. What potential does he have?
Well, I don't. I mean, what you mean with potential? I mean,
Okay,
ask him that.
you're saying okay, my potential was clearly there. Like people saw what I was doing because I had a company at the time. Even though I'm on my fifth company now that's finally became successful, I was still running businesses at 24. Like, what is he doing now?
Okay, ask him that. Won't you ask him the question?
I mean, what are you doing now to make yourself better, Psycho?
I don't know, Marquise. Honestly, I'm just another Naker. I'm just another three
He
trash
hates
bag
himself.
carrying struggle dusty. No, I don't hate myself.
You clearly hate yourself. I've been seeing you on panels for a year, bro. Like you hate everything that is you. Like if you hate yourself, no matter who you meet, you're gonna project that negative energy on everybody. No one's gonna like you.
It's
I
not. It's
would
not negative
say
energy. I love myself. I think I look
See,
very
see,
handsome.
I know you've talked to him before, DERELL, but dude, I mean, this dude's been doing this for a year and a half almost. Like, if you're a negative nobody, like it doesn't matter what you do or say, no one's gonna like you.
But I want to say this. So I have to have money. But if if a woman does get with me for my money, then she's a gold digger, right? Like where's the logic in that?
I mean, you've been giving your money to everybody. Like, you gave it take what $200 for no reason.
I
Like,
mean,
you're not
there
even
was
using
a
your money as
reason.
leverage.
There
Like
was a
most guys
reason,
with
but
money will at least use it as leverage. They're like, yo, you got to go out with me or let me suck some titties or something for $100 or something. You just give it away.
Suck some tea.
I'm being dead ass real. Like he just gives it away.
but I mean, isn't that the
No,
problem now? Like,
no. Whatever you're gonna say, no.
I mean,
alright,
you
man.
saying some real stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I think you gotta give him some time, man. Cause like,
How,
as
how
far as
old is
like
he?
becoming a man, you got. I say it takes some time. I'll say at the age of like 24 to 25.
Oh, come on.
That
Not
exactly
now
around
you're
the
being
time
calling.
when
You're being calling. At 23,
nah.
I was in the army, bro. Like at 20, most people are getting out of the military at
So
22 or
so
23.
at what age do the brain develop?
Bro, I mean, that's why I'm saying his chances are slim to none because he should have been there by now. This dude is a private pile, man. He just ain't getting it.
You gotta give it some
but
time.
Psycho
The
only
brain develop
22.
around the age of 25.
Nah, man, come on, bro. Be honest, man. If
So
I
when
was a supervisor, I put a vote of no contest on him, bro.
you
Psycho
being
only like
25
22,
from you
23.
being 21 is different.
I'm 22. I'll be 23 in
Yeah,
July.
he young,
Give
brother.
it
Come
more
on, Marquis.
time,
He
bro.
only 22.
However, we're supposed to go off base of we're supposed to go based off of what this guy is telling us. He can tell us anything. He hasn't put forth any kind of proof of anything. He hasn't shown us any results. Nothing. The photos I saw of him. What kind of a married man takes photos without their wife in the photo in Colombia and Thailand? Like, come on now.
Marcus.
What did he say?
He said, "What kind of?" He said, "You have not shown proof of anything you claim you're doing. You basically go on online and post pictures of you without your wife in Colombia and other countries."
My wife is with me, you idiot.
And as for your
You
company,
guys notice that light skin? Do you guys know the same light skinned girl is with me every country I go?
as for your company, what's
Like
can
this
you
is how
show out
slow
some
thinking this
company
dude is.
names?
The same light skinned chick is with me every country I've traveled to. Like that's my
Well,
wife. I don't put
well,
her
I
on
didn't.
camera a lot, but like you think someone with a decent brain would have figured that out by now.
I don't know, man. It seems like you're probably not telling the truth about a whole lot.
Oh my God. See, okay, no matter what you sell these people, they don't get it. That's why I'm going at him so hard because he does not get it. Like you can literally post your entire life on YouTube. That's not real. I don't
So what's
believe that.
so
But he
so
don't
what's
believe a
your
dude that bashes black guys who post nothing, a Hispanic guy who doesn't even speak Spanish.
what's your company name, Marquise? Do
Okay,
you
first
have
off,
like
Psycho,
do you
where
have
do
a
I get
name?
money from? Do you think I just have? You think that I pay for these trips for food stamps?
No.
Come on,
No,
man.
be logical. Be a logical thinker. Am I a security guard making $9 an hour that travels the world 4 or 5 times a year?
No.
I drive a Nissan Skyline and a Jeep Wrangler. How much do those
Okay.
vehicles cost?
I mean, now in
No,
today's
no, no, no,
time, a
no.
whole
You,
lot.
you guys know about vehicles. How much does a Nissan GTR and a Jeep Wrangler in 2021 cost? You're looking at 150 grand worth of vehicles, bro. Like in what world does it make sense that I'm poor?
I didn't say you were poor. I'm just
Okay, so
asking.
like I'm just saying, like what do you think I do for a living? You think I'm just rich?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, no, no.
You're the
You're,
one
you're,
up.
you're claiming that I don't have an income or I don't have a company. Like, where do I get
No,
money from?
Marquise. I just asked you a simple question.
That's what I'm saying. These guys are
What's your
illogical thinkers. They're not
what?
normal. There is
I
there
just
is no hope for them.
Hold on. So,
all.
what point are you trying to make, Marquise?
They are illogical thinkers. Like they have a lot more problems than what they're telling you going on. Like they don't think like a normal person. There's something wrong with them.
Anyway, I would want a woman that appreciates me more than like for my money. Honestly, I don't even think money is really a big factor because women have jobs now and they can make their own money. So we can just cross that off the list. What's next?
Well, I don't know about that one, Psycho. Your
Thank
money
you.
does matter.
Like
Even though
the things
women,
that I'm
oh,
sorry,
oh,
go ahead, bro.
let me say this. I do agree with you in the fact that yes, you have to have more than just money to bring to the table. Uh, it makes things easier, but a woman, even though she has money, she also is going to look at how she can build and how she can function with your money. That's just the nature of women. Women, no matter how much money a woman has, they're still going to look at how much money you have. You know, like that's just the nature of women. You
Yeah,
know, they
women don't marry down or side. They marry up. They got to think you're someone better than them.
I mean, that's what you say, but women marry down all the time.
Where?
They get
I
in
don't find that to be
relationships.
true.
They get in relationships with men that are not making as much. Like they do it. It's out there.
I've never seen it. All
well,
my
I'm
friends are
gonna say
married.
this. I'm gonna say this. Women do marry. There are a lot of women who do marry down, and they not. A lot of those women end up getting a divorce, and they not happy. Um, because what ends, particularly, I'm gonna say that this is a problem for a lot of highly educated, successful black women that complain that they can't find black men. Is because they attempted to date down, and those guys that they date down with don't have the qualities of a successful black man. And
Thank you.
see, you got to understand, Marquise has a certain mindset. He don't have a poverty mindset. He don't have, he had companies. You have to be ambitious. You have to be hardworking. You have to have your shit together. You have to have a certain mentality to have businesses as early as at his age and to do things. And see, when women who are successful, they want to see that and more from a man, not less. And when they date down, they notice that these men don't have the work ethic, the ambition, or intelligence, and that eventually wears off, and they no longer want to be in that relationship. So the fact of the money is actually stems from the fact of your mindset and your goals. It's basically a representation of the work, the end result of the work that you put in. And so, if you have a certain mindset, you should produce a certain amount of things.
Thank
Uh,
you, DERELL. Thank you, bro. Like that's thank you, bro. Thank you for saying that.
yeah. So I do agree. Yeah, there are women who are willing to work with you, and then there are women. There's a lot of black women who date down, but we got to look at the longevity of those situations. Because if a woman feel like she's working harder than a man, if she's putting out or doing more things, she's not going to want to stay in that relationship. Most are not. Now there are some that men function well with the woman doing this and he's doing other things, but there are only a small percentage of relationships that work where the women are basically handling things and the man is basically chilling. Very few. But I want you to understand in those type of relationships, there are other things that that man possess, as far as
I was
quality
just about to say that. I was just about
that
to say
that
that.
the women, yeah, that they may look at that supersedes the financial.
He's good.
But
He's good looking, basically.
yeah,
So hold on, I got a question for Marie. So can you describe the dynamics of your relationship? Do you let your wife work, or how do you play that role?
I mean, we're kind of the same. Like, but she's still working in law enforcement. I'm not because I started full time with the business. But we're kind of the same as far as like just trying to work on our on our careers and building things like that. But we're both very ambitious.
And like in the future, do you plan for her to keep working, or you just
I we've actually got a divorce years back because I wanted her to quit her job. I don't want her to work. Law enforcement is dangerous. I don't want her doing it, but she wants to keep working. So, but yeah, that's been a probably our biggest conflict is I mean I make enough to provide for both of us, to both of our lives that we want. So there's no need for her to work, but she continues to work.
so you consider yourself kind of like a more traditional?
Yeah, I mean I'm very traditional. Like as far as like I take care of like everything financial. My wife doesn't pay bills or things like that. Whatever she wants to do with the home or the house, that's up to her. But I protect, I provide, I do basic what the man is supposed to do. Like that was my dream. That's what I wanted. So I mean I'm living what I want. So I mean I believe in tradition, man. Like the man has his role, the woman has her role. Nobody's higher than the other, but you can't have two captains of a ship. You can only have a captain and an XO, and that's how I run my household.
So what did you present that to her before you got into a relationship with her, or like that's
I
just
mean,
how
yeah,
it went?
she's very traditional herself because, well, for one, she comes from the Dominican Republic, so her mindset is the women are kind of, they support their husband. They're not, they ain't. She hasn't been westernized when I met her, but you know, I mean, I'm more traditional, and I won. But the thing with that psycho, like I've seen him for years, bro. Like he's got a lot of more issues going on, man. He's got way more issues than what he presents. I think he just likes getting on panels. Because I mean, I heard him say that he hates being a black man. Man, come on, bro.
You gotta give him more time, bro. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
bro.
You
That's
gotta you
you
gotta
gotta
be able
scuttle
to
that
find
shit. That
yourself,
should be
cause
scuttled.
you gotta give him more time. Like I said, the brain don't develop until the age of 24 to 25, bro. That's he got another 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I
Cause
tried
when
helping him.
once
He shitted on me when I tried helping him, bro.
what you mean he shit? What
Nigga,
happened?
nigga, nigga just
I
shitted on
think
me, bro.
you had the wrong approach.
I didn't have the wrong. I came at that nigga. I mean, I came at him like like just trying to just show
You
like
just
tell him
said
what he
though,
was doing
like he
wrong.
ain't. You said he a lost cause though.
That's why I said I gave up, man. Nigga lost cause, man. When you start saying you hate black men and they can all die, and like he said those things on Kim's channel, bro.
Hold on,
The
how long
nigga's
ago
gone.
was this?
This was like I think I even recorded this shit. It was like a couple of weeks ago, but the dude, he gone, bro. He just gets on here for attention.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
I'm
I
looking
don't
at
mean to come on here and be a buzzkill, bro, but I just had to say something, man.
man.
I
I'm
just started
looking
listening
at
to
your
DERELL's
channel,
channel, bro. I like you, man. I support you, bro.
right? I'm looking at your channel right now. I see you got some interesting topics here on the
Yeah, I'm all over
exposed
the place, man.
Manosphere. I see stuff on O'Shea, Abba, and Preach. Asian dog kicked off a freshman. You got a lot going on over here, man.
I mean, I'm all over the place. I don't have a real like subject on my channel. I just talk about anything. Man. I just whenever I have free time, I just get on here and just do crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check you out, man. But my thing is this, man. You're more than happy to come on my channel when I do lives anytime. Are you welcome here? I did like some of the stuff you did, and I do think you're a bit hard on them, but I do think see y'all have some interaction I don't know about. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the world ain't gonna be easy on him, man. Like
True.
the world is not gonna be easy on people like him. He's not understanding that. Like y'all haven't heard the stories I've seen with Psycho and what I've seen. Like I mean, I know you've seen them too. Like how he got tricked out of like $8,000. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
I
Hold on, what?
interviewed him. I interviewed him on that. I
Yeah,
interviewed
I
I
him.
seen
think
it.
I do remember that happening. That
Yeah,
interview.
I interviewed him to discuss the fact that he got swindled out of $7,000 from a lady that was supposed to be living in, I think, Italy or somewhere across seas. And I think I'm gonna say this: a lot of what Psycho Candy is enduring is his lack of um, social skills, and until he becomes more proficient in how he socialized and picking up verbal cues and social cues and things of that sort, then I think his success rate with women will improve. But until he changes, and also as it relates to his mannerisms and things of that, and his adaptability in social situations, I really think, like when you talked about him feeling creepy or looking, I think it has a lot to do with when he's sitting or talking with a woman, she's not feeling comfortable. See, that's something that takes uh, practice. That takes behavioral practice. That's going to take, coaching for him per se.
Now,
And
But all that can be worked
everything
on
you're
though.
saying is what I've told him before, bro. Like, women got to feel safe around you. Like everything that you just said, I've told him before. He still doesn't get it.
okay, I get you. What's going on, Mr. Exposed, the Manosphere? What's going on, brother?
Hey, you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I just turned this on randomly because I was reorganizing my room that I moved in a week ago, and I saw Marquise going in on Psycho Candy as he always does. So I was just
Yes,
curious.
I
Also,
didn't.
you have the history of what's going on with that. Like, is
What's going
everything
on?
he's
What?
saying true? As far as like, what he said in the past.
I mean, I don't watch that many. I don't watch YouTube that much to know.
That's a
So
yes.
I don't really know. No, I mean, I really don't know. I'd ever seen Psycho
Well,
Candy
Exposed, you do
everywhere.
know Marquise got a video on you also.
Yeah, I went on this phone
Yeah, I
too.
haven't checked it. I haven't checked out the recent ones. I saw one about the whole like army beating somebody up, but I haven't checked out the other two.
Yeah, exposed the
I don't
blanket
know
party,
what
bro.
is Marquise gripe with me. I'm confused. What's your gripe with me?
Bro, I mean, like your whole demeanor. Like we had an expression back in my day. I'm pretty old. I'm 37. Like we used to say you should be
Yeah,
ashamed of yourself. Like men don't belittle men like that. Like men don't. It's just something we don't do.
Who
be
did
little in terms of
Expose to
what?
be little?
Like when you take the Manosphere, okay, the Manosphere is ridiculous, but it's supposed to be like that's just guys. Like it's supposed to be ridiculous.
It's supposed to
Supposed to
be
be
ridiculous.
ridiculous?
Did you
Nah, I
say
have
That
to
doesn't
that?
make
disagree with
sense. That's
that.
not the original goal. That's not
Well,
the
I mean,
original goal.
hey, I made it through society, bro. I'm just telling you, man. Like guys are just sometimes it's just locker room talk. You know, if you think that shit is serious, then you got something going on. Like you
Uh,
dudes are just having fun.
I'm going to push back
no,
on
no,
that because
brother.
there's a
It's
difference
a little
between
bit more
locker
than
room
that.
talk.
And even
Yeah,
if
so
you
there's a
think
difference
that way,
between
who
locker room
starts a
talk and what people
channel
say on this
to
platform.
follow everything they do? You watch more Menosphere content than I do.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 channels dedicated to it with like I mean, even if you don't
Yeah, but I
like
don't
it
think I
or you
watch
have a thing
every
against it, it's kind of weird.
No, not really, because both channels are meant to be an archive. Because
I mean,
YouTube,
I
again,
don't
is
like
the
a lot of
horrible
things, but I
archive because
don't make
people delete their
channels about
stuff.
it. It's kind of odd, bro.
Wait a minute.
It's not odd to me. I mean, if you read my articles, it's not odd. There's a straight
I mean,
correlation
I
between
do
the
shit, but I can't. I'm
two.
just saying
Okay, your
it's odd
criticism
to
are
me
kind
and
of
it's odd to a lot of
insane.
men.
Odd to a lot of men, or just men like you?
Men who win in life. I'll put it like that.
What makes you think I'm not winning in life? I just critique certain things I disagree with.
I mean, aren't you? Did you say you were still dating?
Huh? I mean, I'm currently single, so okay.
I mean, you're like what 30?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of a flag. That's kind of a red flag there, buddy.
Not really. It's the average black man who first get married is like 31 or something like that.
Okay, if you're single at 30, you really shouldn't be dating. You should be picking. Your life should be like secure to a point where you literally have a group of women that you pick from. I don't know anybody in their 30s that goes, I need to find me a date for the night.
I mean, I haven't done that recently. I mean, I was talking to somebody in Bloomington, but you know, that was just casual.
Like most relationships that you said, they end pretty early, right?
Like most relationships, who said that?
I mean, you said it before. You've been on dates with girls and they just pass you the check after like 2 minutes.
Oh,
like
that was just one. That was just one. It wasn't 2 minutes. It was after. That was just one person. One person.
That's never happened to me, bro.
You never had a bad date before?
Never.
Come on, Marky.
No, it doesn't faze me if if I go on a date with somebody who I don't really,
I never really
have chemistry
like
with.
that.
I just move on.
I mean, I never really date like that because I only kind of talked to girls who talked to me, so I knew they liked me. There was never any courtship.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that because I posted it before on my profile. I posted on YouTube before. I posted how girls have like literally hit on me 5 or 6 times a night. Like I'm showing people that. Like I don't just say things on YouTube with no proof.
Hold on, so he could be a player in his 30s right now.
I don't brag about it.
You can't brag about something you don't do.
But I don't have to brag about my dating life on social media.
Exactly, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a cop.
So what you trying to imply?
You're copping out for life, bro. I'm not saying you're a bad person.
I get a lot of laughs out of talking to Marquise, though. Doesn't
I mean, you're extremely smart. I'll give you that. But your social ability is like 0.
Oh boy.
and I mean, how tall are you again?
Well, what is with this obsession with height? Come on, brother.
Hey,
I don't understand. I don't have an issue.
Dating coach angle to it. You feel me?
Hey, I'm just being honest about life is not fair. It never has been. Mm-hmm. So you either get smart or you get strong.
I never had an issue with the height thing, to be honest with you.
I mean, the women have. I'm pretty sure.
No. I'm dead serious. I date women either the same.
My issue with you, but exposed, is the fact that you try to belittle other men to other women. Like that, it's ridiculous because you don't know what people are going. Sometimes they come on here just to vent. Let those guys have their little 5 minutes of ridiculously venting. It's not hurting anybody. But the fact that you take that and make it content, like that's like ridiculous to me, bro. Like it's like you've never been into a barbershop or you've never been into a locker room. And I don't think you ever have. At 5'5", I'm pretty sure you were an athlete. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure you were an athlete. And judging from your hair, I'm pretty sure you don't get haircuts. So you've never been in those environments where men were just being men. You think it's ridiculous because you've never been invited into that circle. I mean, am I wrong?
That's actually kind of ridiculous because you do come onto my platform, and when I make videos about people talking about eugenics, you just call it locker room talk, which I've never heard that discussed in any other setting outside of YouTube.
Because you've never had any friends.
So you literally had a conversation when people talk about eugenics?
No. Like, that's weird, bro. Like,
that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm making. There's a difference between locker room talk and rhetoric that is pretty fringe and marginal.
That's me. That's not someone else. If they want to talk about that, let them talk. It's not ridiculous. It's just guys being guys. I'm not trying to limit somebody's expression, bro. That's just crazy.
No, they have the freedom of speech. I definitely agree with that, but also have the freedom to critique them, especially because it's on a public platform. It is accessible to anybody.
Bro, listen. Okay, now, you know what? I'm not going to try to like get you to see something because you're 30. If you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to see it at all. Like I really don't even kind of like waste time with people who just don't win.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm just being serious. Like
it's okay. I say we always disagree with one another.
Man, it is what it is, man. But like you don't get it. You never will. I don't think you ever will. Not at 30.
So Marcus, could you tell me the efficacy of men coming on YouTube having barbershop talk about women for the last 6, 7, 8 years? Could you explain?
Excuse me, say that again.
14 years, be honest.
Yeah. Could you tell me the efficacy of black men voicing their irrational grievances about black women day after day for the last 10 to 15 years?
Like who is it hurting? Like what problem is it creating?
That's the question. No, Marquise. Please let's get with the question. What is the efficacy of that?
Oh, I mean, from a moral standpoint, I'm not gonna judge other men for how they vent.
No, Marquise, answer the question. What is the efficacy of that? What is the effectiveness? What is the outcome of that? For men to do this, I understand they have a right to voice their irrational, their irrational, demented grievances about Black women that are unfounded by research or anything clinically observable. What is the positive outcomes of that?
How their behavior is going to affect others? It's not, because for one, if these guys are complaining that how women are treating them and they're not dating them, then they're not dating them. They can't affect other women by their behavior.
How?
Okay, the efficacy is how something's going to affect others in their minds. They can't have any effect on women, and women are not picking these guys anyway.
So what you're telling me that is not effective? That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, you guys are saying what they're saying is ridiculous and harmful to women.
It is.
How? When these same guys are saying that they can't get women.
Okay, so then you're making the case of how illogical this whole thing is in the first place. You're sitting here telling me, how is this not hurting women? But then they're talking about women that they actually want to date that don't want to date them.
Okay, so how are they hurting those women?
So who is actually the loser in that exchange?
I mean, no one's really a loser. I'm not passing judgment on anybody.
The guy that wants to date the women that they talk about that don't want them is the loser. Because instead of you talking about and giving your grievances, you have not done some of the things you just talked about that you told Psycho Candy. Didn't you say confidence, intelligence, get your money up? All of these things that you're talking about, there are guys that have been here for 10 years. I know for a fact there are guys that have been here at least that have not done any of those things in the last 10 years. And they are constantly doing YouTube videos about
what guys would those be? Because I've been listening to Menosphere content for like 3 or 4 years. Half of what they're saying is to improve themselves and don't date.
Okay, but what about the guys?
I've been listening to O'Shea and Angry. I've been listening to these guys for years. What they generally tell people is to get themselves to be the best possible person that they can be. Like, I don't know what content you guys have been kind of like.
You don't know anything about Angry Man's. You don't know anything about Angry Man's personal life, do you?
Well, he needs to follow his own advice on that one. You're very
okay. For one thing, exposed. I wouldn't laugh. You're still single.
If what?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're always going to be single, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I'm always okay.
Always gonna be single.
Cleo now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because women, it does not matter if women like you, only that they respect you. If a woman respects you, she'll give you a lot more leeway and chances. What you're doing is women don't respect that at all.
What makes you think that I literally talk to everybody about my YouTube channel?
Because there's no, either people are sending you clips or you're watching hours and hours upon content. Like, I mean, I travel a lot and I listen and watch this content. You watch way more than I do. Like, what are you doing? And you're like, it's weird.
I do not watch as much as people think I do. I don't really get why people say that.
So if you're watching,
catches by accident.
No.
So like, for example, I'll give you an example.
You're putting. That's why people are saying that you take their things out of context because you have no context.
Absolutely no, because they give me the timestamps and I listen to it. And you
listen to the entire stream of all the clips they send you.
3-hour video.
So I mean, so you're listening to the context.
Short, but usually if I listen to something, I just fast forward it like at 2 times the speed.
Okay, you don't see how weird that sounds, bro?
No.
Like, how weird is that? What grown man literally watches?
Do you read the disclaimer that I have on my second channel?
I have a fucking life, bro. Like, I'm no grown man.
So do I.
Doing that. That's my whole thing about
it. Does not take me that much time.
No grown man has the time to sit and do shit like that.
Interesting. I started my channel during the pandemic when I actually had like a lot more time on my hand. That's why I don't yet.
Bro, I mean, I'm
not as active as I used to be. Huh?
I mean, come on, bro. Like, I don't know anybody that has that much free time.
I don't have a lot of free time.
You have a lot more.
Can't you treat YouTube like a business, though?
You can. There are people who do it full time. I'm not really that passionate to do
He's
it.
doing this for fun.
I
He's
mean,
not. He's a history. He's a history major.
I mean,
This isn't it's like
I do
he's doing it
make
for
money
fun.
from
That's
this
what
though.
makes it creepy.
It's nice side income. No, I
Side
do it
income?
actually because I get emails from a lot of young men who kind of listen to the content and told me what kind of effect it had on them, and I get a lot of like thank you emails too till this day.
From weirdos.
No, from young
Come on,
men
Marquis.
who are kind of just going.
Marquis, a question to ask you, Marquis.
Young men and women too.
West Bank want to know: doesn't your woman come from economic disadvantage? What kind of economic background does your wife come from? Is it reflective of these other guys that go across seas from in these poor countries?
Okay. We met in Miami because we met in middle school. We both went to we both were raised in Carroll City, Miami. So we're both
for
poor.
real?
We both came up poor. All right.
You went
She's
to
a
Carol
federal
City?
agent now. She has a bachelor's degree. Okay, so I mean, we both worked at the sheriff's office together for a short time. Like she's the same economic background I am, bro. Like a lot of people tend to sit there and say, "Well, you had money and you went to the DR." Like we both met in Miami. Like Miami's full of like Latinas, bro. Like they outnumber everybody. So no,
Right.
I didn't go to the islands and find a poor woman. If that's what the guy's trying to get at.
Okay. I get you. I'm just saying because the way you came off, I mean, you sound like a passport brother to me. The way you,
When I was
you
single,
got
I
that
did travel a
energy,
lot. When I got divorced, I did travel a lot. That's where I met a lot of these other passport guys on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I was single for 2.5, 3 years. Just
well, Cycle
basically
Candy
running
said you
roles.
were in other
The
countries.
company's run itself. And this is
You
the
said
point.
you
I
were-
could run things from online, so I decided to travel.
Okay, so Cycle Candy saying you were in these other countries just laying solo without your wife, and some of the stuff looked a little suspect.
Psycho Candy's not very smart, bro. I mean, look at him, man. You really the fact that whenever I travel, the same person's with me like everywhere I go. These guys are idiots, bro.
I don't know,
They
brother. You
can't
starting
put
to
two
sound
and
like
two together.
the Saints in the center. He does the same thing. He got women in the background while he's walking around in Brazil, other places.
I mean,
You know,
we travel together. We have fun. Like when I went to Cartagena, I was going because my buddy was getting remarried. Like they get remarried every 10 years. So he was getting remarried in Cartagena, and like I went down there for like a month. And like I don't know, man. These dudes.
so Marquise, are you family orientated?
I mean, yeah, I
This
raised a son. My son's in college. Yeah, I'm family orientated.
This space is about being somewhat family orientated. The manosphere is hypocritical when it comes to family orientation versus as far as family development and so forth, in which it tells people that they can pump and dump, they can do this, they can live single lifestyles and so forth, but you're also at the same time saying disparaging things about Black women who are single mothers, but at the same time you're producing those single mothers through that type of behavior.
The manosphere is basically a stage of life that guys have to like grow through, man. Like I've been through that stage when I was younger. I'm not going to tell anybody that it's bad or that it's good. I'm just going to let them go through that stage. Like it's a stage that some people just have to develop.
These are men who are older than you who are saying that. These are 40, 50-year-old men, 30, 40, 50-year-old men.
I mean, some people go through different stages in life,
yes,
bro.
and
like
if you look at the biggest pseudo intellectual of them all, BGS Ilmore, he's 60 plus.
I mean, he may have. I mean, everybody goes through different stages at different times, man. Like it's
Hold
just
on. So
60 years old.
how you gonna say
can't
that
get
people
together
got
at
different
60?
stages, but Psycho Candy can't change? So how you gonna say that for people who in their 60s when this dude
he's not even in the game. Like he's not even at the point where he's had experience with a woman.
He got 20 years over these niggas.
20
He
years
got
of what?
20 years to change compared to niggas already in their 60s compared to somebody who 22.
Okay, what are you guys expecting people to do? Completely to change to this?
Do I got echo?
Like
no, it's progression. It comes with over time. It's not everything not just gonna hit like right then and there.
Okay,
it's progression.
I have the life that I want. Okay, that necessarily doesn't mean everybody has to have the same life to be happy. Like I'm not gonna force other people to like. This is what you have. You have to have a wife. You have to have a house. You have to have a kid to be happy. Some people find their
DERELL.
different happiness in different places. Let them find it on their own. I'm not gonna. If you want to get to a place where I am, I can give you advice about how to get there. That's what I'm saying. People like Psycho says he wants to have a girlfriend, he wants to get married, he wants these and that things. Those are the things that I have. So I can give him advice about how to get there. I can't give everybody advice about how to get to where they want.
Okay. I get it. I get it. What's going on, Chaos Rain? What's going on, brother?
Can you hear me good?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, what's good? What's good? So it's the first official episode of the Menosphere. Menosphere?
Correct.
I forgot to call you
Yes, this
pronounce
is
it.
the Menosphere. Yes, this is the Black Menosphere.
Oh, Manosphere. Oh, that's what they meant. Okay, Manosphere. Okay, okay. So what is it about the Manosphere now that you want to talk about or shit on tonight?
Now, I'm really not about shitting on anybody. I mean, I'm just only exposing what's observable. I mean, the content itself speaks for itself. Now, for me, my particular platform is more characterized by people, whether you're men or women, who are able to have effective communication about issues relating to the Black family, the development of Black boys into to productive Black men, as far as Black males' accountability, Black male as far as approach to family, manhood, and things of that sort. You know, this is we're looking at things more from a problem solving standpoint, not necessarily just you voicing out your grievances for things that you have no intention on changing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, they change. They change. If they want to change, they stay the same. That's how life goes. No one's going to really beg or push you try to change if you don't want to change for yourself. And if the men come to the way they act, you know, all good to them. That's all I'd say. I'm not going to say anything more about that.
Right. Okay. Anything else, Chaos?
Nope. I just came up here. This is
so back to Marquise, because I'm gonna have to check out your content to really get a good stance on you and so forth. You know,
I'm gonna go ahead and warn you, man. I'm all over the place, bro. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm all over.
He is. He talking about Kim 1, 2, 3, me.
He what?
He talks about like Kim 1, 2, 3, me, Abba and Preach, Fresh and Fit, etc.
Oh, Kim, I know Kim 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'll tell you about Kim 1, 2, 3. I've actually known this guy for about 4 or 5 years, man. Like what he goes through the same thing every year. He gets dogs, he loses all his friends, and he starts right back over. The guy, he has mental problems. I don't really make fun of him like that, like I used to. I still do, but he really does have severe mental issues. He needs help.
Okay, he needs help.
He needs help.
Okay. So what is your issue? What is your main? Because it seems to me, you know, it sounds like to me you have an affinity to protect Manosphere content creators.
I have an affinity to protect men. Period. Like I'm actually loyal to manhood. Like masculinity is like I'm still trying. I'm not even fighting for masculinity because I think it's on its way out. Like there are too many Aaron Fountains now. Like there are too many of these guys out there.
Hold on,
wait a minute, bro.
Wait a minute, Marquise. What? So you're gonna sit here and tell me that you think men in the Manosphere are more masculine than exposed to Manosphere?
I'm not here to tell people that their opinions. I'm not gonna marginalize people's opinions like that, bro. Like so it may be ridiculous to you, but at least let them get it out, because when you repress people, it becomes anger. It becomes worse. Like you can't do it to people. Like let them get it out. Let them either.
So you want guys to miseducate young Black men on research and other rhetoric and literature that's not true,
bro. If you take crazy people in the Manosphere seriously, you're a bit.
Yeah, but these guys take themselves seriously. When I first came into this space in 15, I didn't take it serious. I didn't start having issues until
Me either.
like 2 years later when I started finding out these guys were believing the BS that they were saying. And when I started realizing the level of mental health issues and a lot of these guys' background and so forth, as far as the domestic violence, you got sexual predators, you got guys who barely graduated from high school, everybody lying about being a tech engineer, computer science, anything in tech and STEM. I mean, these are the lies, and they're living vicariously through these YouTube personas that are not relative to their real life. When I started assessing that
brother,
in the last 2 or 3 years, I grew great concern about what was going on in this space.
Bro, let me tell you something, man. For about almost 8 years, I was a police detective, bro. This is common amongst everyone. This isn't just Manosphere. A lot of guys are living their life like this. Like the same thing that you see in the Manosphere,
problem, brother. That's not normal.
The same things you see in the Manosphere, you're gonna see in hospitals, you're gonna see in schools, you're gonna see in the workplace.
So why are you not holding the Manosphere
That's not normal, brother. Most men don't do that.
It's people in general. That's how people are.
No,
like,
people are not like that. No,
say what?
they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not, brother.
It shouldn't be like that, though.
I've investigated so many crimes. Like the people that you think have their life together, when you investigate crimes, you dig into people's lives and you see what people are really like. Like I've got to see what teachers are like. I've been through teachers' text messages. I've been through the principals' emails. I've been through all kinds of people. These people all have fucked up issues. Everyone. It's not just Manosphere. The Manosphere is just a microcosm of just what guys are like in general.
No, it's not. That's not true. Because guys don't have extreme issues. The average guy does not have extreme issues getting a date.
Okay, almost 80 to 85% of men are just not dating, period.
That is not true.
Where did that come from?
That is definitely true.
I think today's men are getting less sex than they used to do in the past.
Expose. When was the last time you had sex, bro?
I would make.
I'm not going to answer that.
I would.
Okay, thank you.
But hold on, Marquise. I would make the case due to the accessibility of social media and online dating sites and so forth. I would make the case that it's easier for men now to get sex.
No, it's easier for women.
DERELL, that's wrong.
It's not easier for women.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Easier for women.
Easier, but a lot
men
of
today are not having as much sex as they used to.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I can tell you that, man, because I've seen it.
You've seen
it. You gotta be in
that
top percentage, man.
Okay, so who?
One of the reasons is because.
So who's collecting the data?
I mean, you can just look at people.
You can ask
There's
around.
an article from the
Atlantic. I'm telling you.
Marquise, did you hear my disclaimer earlier about when we're gonna talk research? You're gonna have to come with things in full scale. So who
DERELL, you can just look at the landscape of the area.
No. We're talking about if you're going to give me empirical numbers, I need you to clarify.
Hold on. So where your numbers at?
What you mean, my numbers?
Where your research at?
You can check the American Counseling Association, the American Psychological Association.
Stop it, man. I'm on the concrete and I'm seeing what's going on.
I have not read a research article in regards to sexual access that said anything as it relates to the decrease in men's functionality in respects to sexuality and sex. I haven't read anything that shows.
I don't have to read what's going on in this environment.
Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute. But you all, I'm giving you what I know. You're telling me.
I'm giving you what I see.
What you see is representative of your own environment. I'm talking about from a nationalistic standpoint. I haven't seen anything that shows a significant.
DERELL, excuse me, brother. You like me, man. You're an older gentleman who's well seasoned. Like our generation is not the same. You think I would be with a woman like this if I were 25, like now?
Yes.
Like, are you? I'm not getting. Are you married, brother? Or?
Yes, I am. But you would have sex with her.
See, we're not in the same generation. Our generation is not the same with these guys, man.
I know,
you don't see what I see.
would you have sex with one of these women that you talk about?
Are you saying what I?
Yes.
Not. I mean, I'm married, bro. I don't really.
Oh, come on now. See, now you're deterring from the question.
I mean, I'm past that stage. I'm past that raw dog.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, would you have sex with some of these women you talk about? Because that's representative of the manosphere. The manosphere.
I mean, if I was 21,
the very type of women that they would actually have sex with.
I mean, when I was 21, it'd be a different story, dude. I fuck a rattlesnake when I was 21, bro.
Okay. So
I'm just saying.
The only statistic I'm going to say this: the only statistic that I could say that could give rise to a decrease in men having sex is the fact that the teenage pregnancy and the birth rates, as far as overall for this country, is decreasing.
Because nobody's having sex.
That's the only data that I know that could be utilized.
These kids are not leaving the house. That's the problem.
Wait, can I say something first?
DERELL, I don't gotta have statistics to tell you that what's going on in this environment. You feel me? Like I see this first.
I was going to say another reason. Another reason for this is because there's more young men living at home even in their early 30s. That's another reason why like sex is on the decline for young men. Okay. I shared an article in
decline, but from the Atlantic. Are men struggling? When I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it as if they're struggling at an incel type level. I don't think so.
Brother, they are. Like so. I took little cousins, and they're good looking little brothers, man. They good. Like they 6'1", 6'2". They're good brothers, man. And they have so much trouble with dating. I took them down to Cartagena, but them boys had a time of their life. And I mean, I hear them talk all the time about how girls are. Like even as good looking as they are, they don't have the money, they don't have cars. Like girls want a certain type of man. Like they all want a certain type, even the so-called ugly girls. Like back in my day, if big girls went out with big guys, goofy guys went out with goofy girls, nerd guys went out with nerd girls. Like it was somebody for everybody. But now all those same people want the same top 10% of men.
But I'm sorry, but I'm a bit confused. But didn't the space say black women are having all these children for different men, and they're just
from the same man,
and they just having sex with any and everybody that's sexually liberated? I'm not understanding for the millennials and stuff that are supposed to be sexually generated. But now you're talking about that there's a lack of sexual access.
It is, bro. These guys are, man. I feel for them, man.
Brother, that it has to be one or the other. You can't have lack of sexual opportunities, but you have all these women running around promiscuous.
Because they're all sleeping with the same dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Wait, I got to interject right here for now. Yeah, I was going to say one thing that the Manosphere does that Marquise is doing is that they take these macro issues and they try to assess them with these highly subjective opinions that just fall flat on their face if you were to put them on paper and try to write an argument or essay on it. The idea that women's behavior is the reason why men are sexist, that's just not true.
Brother, you have to you have to have some level of causality there. And I don't see it. There's no correlation at all.
Hold on, what you don't see, DERELL?
I don't see teenagers and young men complain about not getting sex.
Do you not see Mr. Get Right? Steph is cold. All these younger dating coaches. You don't see what's going on?
No, brother. What I do see is that on social media, it's going to attract a large percentage of guys who have this issue. But in the normal aggregate, it is not at that extreme level in communities in real life. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay. I was with you, DERELL, until you said that, bro. Like I talked to my little cousin. I'm real close to my little cousins.
Yes,
they tell me what's going on in the streets. And when you look at it online.
Okay, my thing is this. I contract with school districts, alternative schools, and I go into other schools and so forth. These kids are having sex. I counsel young men. I don't see young men complain to me about not having. Then they have problems stand in relationships and so forth, but I don't see them complaining that they're not getting sex.
That's
I
kind
only
of
hear
odd to
about
talk to
the
someone
only
from
time.
school
Let
about
me say
sex,
this.
though.
The only time I hear men complaining about sexual issues is when I come on in this space. That's it.
Okay,
And I
okay,
deal with,
I'm gonna challenge you on that. You're like a school official, so that's gonna be kind of weird to have sexual conversations with like a school official, bro. They're not gonna open up to
what are
you
you
like
talking
that.
about? I'm a therapist. What are you talking about? I'm a
They're
therapist.
not gonna open up to you like that, man.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I do this for a living. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't. I mean, I've been through therapy when I was a teen. I definitely would have told my therapist that.
Well, you didn't have a good therapist. I talk about
I'm
sexual issues with kids all the time. They admit it. Matter of fact, I've had situations where kids admitted to having sex with school teachers and principals and had to have full-fledged investigations and got people fired. So I don't know where you get this from, but I mean, these things happen.
Well, I mean, everything else is saying the opposite, bro. Like a lot of these guys are not getting action, bro. They're struggling. They really
Yeah,
are.
don't
Yeah,
let
guys
Instagram
that
fool
are
you.
on social media that are in
Don't
these
let
spaces,
Instagram
they're
fool you,
not getting no
DERELL.
action.
Just because
That's
they
what I'm
don't say
saying.
nothing about it doesn't mean it ain't true.
Okay.
All right, well, we just got to disagree with that one, man.
Well, I'm gonna say this. What I will say is this: there is a disc. I will say that because of the rates declining in birth rates and teenage pregnancy and so forth, I'll give it. It does. I'll give you that, but it's not to the point where guys are just struggling to have access to women. I just don't believe that.
I
I
mean,
just
Psycho is
don't.
22 and a virgin, bro. Like, what else do you need to know?
Yeah, but
Dude,
every
that's one person.
but that's just
Steven
he's
Rose ain't
not
had sex in 3
representative.
years.
He's not representative
Oh
of the
my
average
goodness.
22-year-old.
I mean, he told everybody. I mean, these guys are telling you themselves. They're saying they ain't had sex in 2 or 3 years, man.
Yeah, but you
And
gotta
ain't
understand
no guy
this
really
this
gonna come out and
this
say that,
space
oh, I haven't had sex in that long.
this
Like,
space attract incels. So of course you're gonna have people who are sexually frustrated
But people aren't
that
going to
look
tell you
physically
this out in
challenged.
the
They're
open.
gonna do that. Psycho said he is not. I'm not the. Oh, you say I'm not the only 22-year-old virgin out there. Well, you're not. But that.
I mean, even
No.
But a lot
Psycho
of
said
people are
it.
not gonna say that though. They gonna keep it under wraps.
Yeah, ain't no guy with self respect gonna sit there and tell you he's a virgin, man. They gonna just
They
not
gonna
say nothing.
lie, inflate the numbers, all type of shit.
Yeah, they gonna lie. I wouldn't have told nobody that shit.
Well, maybe he
I'm
don't
kind of
view sex
confused.
the same way you do, though.
I mean, you
Yeah, Marquise
yeah,
is
that
always
make
thinking
you
about
feel better.
sex.
I
Look, man,
mean,
I just sleep with this really big girl when I was 16, bro. Like she was probably what 350. I used to tear that thing up for like 2 weeks straight. And this is the first time in my 37 years on Earth I've told anybody about that shit.
you had a sex with
What?
a big
I
one.
mean,
What?
she
Sex
was
with fat
big.
women?
I mean, she was bigger than big, bro.
Okay. Not my
I
forte,
mean,
but okay.
it's what I could get at the time. But I've never told anybody I had sex with that girl until now.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to say.
Nah, you gotta handle business. You feel me?
See what I'm saying? And the thing about it, I'm not the only person who's done things like that. I'm not the only person who
Well, a
has.
lot
A
of
lot of
guys
guys,
will.
they've had
A
sex
lot
with
of
people.
guys, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
but they're not gonna tell you.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah, a lot of guys will have sex with somebody they're not attracted to. That's true.
Yeah, that happens.
It's
I
like that
felt
big bitch
disgusted.
at work. You're not gonna tell everybody you hit that though, but you're gonna keep it on the low. You know what I'm saying? You know she ugly,
Y'all
everybody
guys.
knows it, but you can be like, hey Shirley, we ain't gonna say nothing about what we done did yesterday, you feel me? To keep it under wraps.
Yep, that's how it goes down. You be at work
And
all
you know,
quiet.
men do that with everything, you feel me? That bitch probably might have turned you down. You ain't gonna tell everybody she turned you down. Nah, man, you already know, man.
Well, don't women do the same thing too? I mean, I'm just thinking of like, especially when it comes to racial dynamics, there's a lot of white women who will sleep with like, black men and keep it on a low.
Facts.
I think men do that.
I'm just
more
saying, I
though.
know.
It more like
you
a
sure about
pride
that?
thing, you feel me?
Okay, if you think
That's what I
so.
personally think. Yeah.
Yeah. This topic took a definite change of turn. We can do it real quick. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This just turned into something totally different. But any last words from anybody before I go ahead and wrap this one up? First edition of the Menosphere content.
Well,
It
I'll
was
wrap it up.
fun, man. Much more to come.
Yes. I'm going to be going live on weekends. I will do at least 3 or 4 premieres or uploads during the week on this level of content. So I hope everybody enjoys. But this is the kind of conversation I was hoping some women would have came on. I'm definitely welcoming women to come in and give opinions, but maybe next time. So anything, Marquise? You've been very colorful today.
Yeah, I just want to say, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Okay. Yeah, I just want to say shout out to the Manosphere, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, bro. Like, I mean, it's going where it goes. Whatever you change, whatever you do, man, support to you. So shout out to the Manosphere. You'll get more results being realistic than you will being optimistic. So that's why I'm tough. That's why I'm brash. Like, you got to deal with reality to get real results. So that's why I'm more straightforward with people. But that's it, man.
All right,
I do
I
this
enjoyed. I'm gonna be checking out your content, man. I'm subscribing.
All right, check it out. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Screw you, Exposed. I'm still mad at you, bro.
All
All
right,
it doesn't
Exposed.
matter
Any
to
last
me.
words,
Like I
brother?
said, I get a lot of laughs. No, I just hopped on because it's been 1 week since I moved to Cleveland. I'm still exploring the city, so yeah, I just want to see what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. This is the first live stream for the Menosphere. This is going to be an alternative to get like-minded individuals to speak on the topics and so forth. I was expecting some other people to show up, but they didn't. But hey, it's okay. They showed up on the live on the uploads that I had. So, but we're going to be doing different topics. It's going to be kind of like I said, an alternative to some of the things. I will be speaking on certain content creators in the Manosphere. I'm right now kind of accumulating some things that I want to talk about, and I'm going to go start posting that next week. So, but I'm going to be doing live streams on the weekends on this particular channel. So.
Oh, okay. Enough of
All
my
right.
life. I came in was 100 minutes.
Yeah. All right, brother. Anything else?
All right. Well, I got work tomorrow, so
yeah. All right.
You
have
else
a
to
great
talk about?
day.
I don't know. I got work tomorrow, so all right. See you.
All right, brother. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. Again, this is the first show of the Menosphere. You have a great day. Please subscribe and share. Also, you can donate $DERELL77. Have a great day.